Okay, this is lesson 54, and it's about how to write the equation of a parabola. We've talked about parabolas a little bit. The basic parabola, where you have the vertex at the origin, is y equals x squared. And some of the points on that parabola would be 1, 1, negative 1, 1, 2, 4, negative 2, 4, 3, 9, because you're just squaring x. So negative 3, 9. So it looks like this. And that's y equals x squared. If you wanted to flip that parabola upside down, you would just take the opposite of the whole thing. So y equals negative x squared. So that would mean that if you put in 1, then now you would get negative 1. And if you put in negative 1, you still get negative 1, because when you square negative 1, you get positive 1, and then when you put some negative in front of it, it becomes negative again. If you put in 2, you get negative 4 now. Negative 2, you also get negative 4. 3, you get negative 9. Negative 3, negative 9. So you flip it upside down, like that. So this is a vertex. The vertex is at the origin, but now the parabola flips upside down. So if it's got a positive in front of the x squared term, you've got a parabola that opens up. And if you have a negative sign in front, you have a parabola that opens down. Now remember that all the rules for translating graphs and moving them around, just like we talked about with circles, to translate a graph a units to the right, you subtract a from x. So if you want to move something 3 to the right, you subtract 3 from whatever your x term is in the function. If you want to translate a graph a units to the left, you add a to x. So you would, if you wanted to move a function 3 units to the right, you would subtract. If you wanted to move a function 3 units to the left, you would add 3 to the x part of the function. To translate a graph a units up, you subtract a from y. So you would want to take away however many units from y if you want to move the graph up. If you want to move a graph down, then you add that many to your y term in the function. All right, so like I said, for the standard parabola, this is what the function looks like, y equals x squared. But there are all different kinds of ways that we can move the vertex around. So to move the parabola 2 units to the left and 3 units down, we would have to do these rules. So if we want to move it 2 units to the left, then we are going to have to, for our x term, we're going to have to add 2 to the x. So it becomes x plus 2 squared instead of x squared. And then if we want to move it 3 units down, we have to add 3 to y. So we'd add 3 right here. And so we would, to finish writing the equation, we would write y equals x plus 2 squared minus 3, because we'd want to leave the y on the left side by itself. Okay, so for this function, since it used to be right here at the origin, and I moved it 2 units to the left and 3 units down, now its vertex is here at negative 2, negative 3. So it looks just like the other parabolas. I'm going to have, if I'm 1 away from there, I'm going to go up 1. If I'm 2 away, I'm going to go up 4. Okay, so it looks just like the other parabola, except I moved it. All right, so what you can see here when you get it into this form, which is the standard form for the equation of a parabola, is that it's y equals x minus h quantity squared plus k, where hk is the vertex. All right, and notice in the standard form, this is a minus sign, okay? So you always have to think about this as minus. So when you see in what we had, it was plus 2, remember that plus 2 means minus negative 2. So the vertex of this parabola, if all I had was the equation, I would say the vertex was negative 2, negative 3. because the h is the opposite of this, because the standard form is minus h. So that's minus -2. So that vertex is -2, -3. So whenever we have a parabola, we want to get it in this form, y equals x minus h squared plus k, so that we can quickly see the vertex of it. And we're going to see how to do that by completing the square on this next page.